Black made a move. Bishop d to pause the video to figure out white's next move. Black considers playing King e4, King h3, King f5, King g2, Bishop c1, King f3. Bishop takes a 3 and dominate the board. King f5 played by white. Bishop c1. On g4. Bishop takes a 3. On g5. White's idea is to play. On g6. Bishop b2. On h6. Bishop c3. On g7. King c4. On promotes to queen at g8 check, and gain a significant edge. Bishop c1 was chosen by black. On h6. King c4. On h7. White wants to play, pawn promotes to queen at h8, and increase their advantage significantly. Bishop b2 played by black. King e6. White is planning to play. On g6. King takes b4. King f7. Bishop d4. On g7. Bishop takes g7. King takes g7, and dominate the board. King takes b4 was chosen by black. King f7. King b3. On g6. King c2. On g7. White is looking to play, pawn promotes to queen at g8, and establish a winning position. Bishop takes g7 played by black. King takes g7. On b4. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. White is preparing to play. Queen h2 check. King c3. Queen e5 check. King c4. King f6. Pawn b3. Queen b2. King d5. Queen takes b3 check, and gain a significant edge. On b3 white is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. White played. On d6 pause the video to find out black's response. White wants to play. On e5. King takes h3. On e6. On g4. On e7. On g3. On promotes to queen at e8, and secure a stronghold in the game. Bishop g3 move preferred by black. Black's idea is to play, bishop takes d6, and gain a significant edge. On d7 was chosen by white. White is aiming to play, pawn promotes to queen at d8, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Bishop c7 move preferred by black. On e5. King takes h3. King e4. King g4. On e6. Bishop d8. King e5. White is looking to play. King d6. Bishop f6. On e7. King f3. On promotes to queen at d8, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Bishop e7 move preferred by black. King e4. King h5. King d5. On g4. Black is preparing to play. On g3. Pawn promotes to queen at d8. Bishop takes d8, and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn promotes to queen at d8 was chosen by white. White is setting up to play, queen takes e7, and take decisive advantage. Bishop takes d8 move preferred by black. King takes c5. On g3. King takes b4. On g2. King c5. Pawn promotes to queen at g1 check. King d5 white has no response. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. Bishop takes e6 pause the video to find out white's response. Black intends to play, bishop takes f5, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Pawn takes e6 move preferred by white. King d6. Bishop e8. Bishop c3. Bishop h5. Bishop b2. King d5. White is looking to play. Pawn e7. King takes e7. King takes c5. Bishop a3 check. King c6. Pawn f5. Pawn takes f5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Bishop a3 was chosen by black. King b6. Bishop b4. Bishop g6. Bishop a3. Pawn e7. White is planning to play. Pawn promotes to queen at e8. Pawn f5. Queen e6 mate and establish a winning position. King takes e7 was chosen by black. King c7. Bishop b4. Pawn d6 check. King f8. Bishop h5. White considers playing. King b6. Bishop e1. King takes c5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King g7 move preferred by black. Pawn d7. White intends to play. King b6. Bishop c3. Pawn promotes to queen at d8 and secure a stronghold in the game. Pawn f5 was chosen by black. Black's idea is to play. Bishop a5 check. King d6. Pawn takes e4. Pawn promotes to queen at d8. Bishop takes d8 and dominate the board. King b6 was chosen by white. Bishop c3. Pawn promotes to queen at d8. Pawn takes g4. Black's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. Pawn g5. Pause the video to spot white's next move. King g2. Pawn h4. Pawn h3 check. King h5. Bishop e2 check. King g6. Pawn takes h4. Pawn takes h4. Bishop g4. King g5. Black is aiming to play. King f4. King f2. King e4. King e1. King takes d4 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King f3 was chosen by white. King g6. King f4. White might go for Bishop c8. King h5. Bishop f5. Bishop g6. Bishop g4 check. King h6. Bishop d7. Pawn a6. Bishop takes c6 and put immense pressure on the opponent. King f6 move preferred by black. Bishop c8. Bishop f7. Bishop d7. King e7. Black intends to play. King takes d7 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Bishop takes c6 played by white. Bishop e6. King g5. White is aiming to play. King takes h4 and take decisive advantage. Bishop takes h3 move preferred by black. Bishop takes d5. Bishop f1. King takes h4. Bishop c4. White has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White played King e3. Pause the video to find out black's response. Pawn h4. King f2. Pawn h3. King g1. King f4. King f2. Pawn g4. Bishop c7 check. King e4. King g3. Pawn f4 check. Bishop takes f4. Pawn h2. Black's idea is to play. Pawn promotes to queen at h1 and increase their advantage significantly. King takes h2 was chosen by white. King takes f4. King g2. King e3. Black is aiming to play. King d4. King g3. King c3. King takes g4. Pawn a5. Pawn a4. King b4. King f3. King takes a 4 and establish a winning position. King g3 was chosen by white. King d4. Black is aiming to play. On a 5. King takes g4. King c3. King f4. King b3. King e4. King takes a 3 and take decisive advantage. King takes g4 move preferred by white. King c3. Black's idea is to play. On a 5. King f3. King b3. On a 4. King takes a 4 and take decisive advantage. King f3 played by white. King b3. Black is planning to play. King takes a 3 and establish a winning position. On a 4 played by white. King takes a 4. King e3. White's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. White played Bishop b2. Pause the video to analyze Black's next move. On c3. Black is preparing to play. Pawn takes b2 and dominate the board. Bishop c1 was chosen by white. Bishop d8. Black considers playing. King c4. Bishop a3. Bishop g5. Bishop d6. On c2. Bishop c7. Bishop takes e3 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On g5 move preferred by white. Bishop takes g5. King g4. White considers playing. King takes g5 and establish a winning position. Bishop h6 played by black. King f5. King b4. King takes e4. King c4. Bishop a3. King b3. Black is planning to play. King takes a 3 and gain a significant edge. Bishop c1 move preferred by white. King c2. Black is planning to play. King takes c1 and gain a significant edge. Bishop a3 played by white. King b1. Black might go for Bishop g7. Bishop b4. On c2. Bishop d2. Bishop c3. Bishop takes c3. On promotes to queen at c1 and sees the initiative. Bishop b4 was chosen by white. On c2. Black is setting up to play. Pawn promotes to queen at c1 and take decisive advantage. Bishop d2 move preferred by white. Bishop g7. Black's idea is to play. Bishop c3. Bishop takes c3. On promotes to queen at c1 and take decisive advantage. King f5 move preferred by white. Bishop c3. Black is looking to play. Bishop takes d2 and secure a stronghold in the game. Bishop takes c3 move preferred by white. On promotes to queen at c1. Black is looking to play. Queen takes e3 and gain a significant edge. Bishop e5. White's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. Bishop g7. Pause the video to find out white's response. On b4. White might go for pawn takes a 5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On d3 move preferred by black. Black is aiming to play. On d2. King f5. On promotes to queen at d1 and gain a significant edge. King d5 move preferred by white. White considers playing. Pawn takes a 5 and gain a significant edge. On e4 move preferred by black. Bishop takes e4. Bishop c3. On b5. Bishop e1. Bishop f3. Bishop g3. King c6. Bishop f4. Bishop d1. King g5. On b6. King f6. King d7. King e5. On b7. White's idea is to play pawn promotes to queen at b8 check and dominate the board. King d4 was chosen by black. On h6. King e3. On h7. Bishop e5. Pawn promotes to queen at b8. White is setting up to play. Queen takes e5 check. King d2. Bishop b3. King c1. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. On d2. Queen a1 mate and take decisive advantage. Bishop takes b8 was chosen by black. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. White considers playing queen takes b8 and dominate the board. Bishop a7. White has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White just played. King a4. Pause the video to spot black's next move. On f4. Black might go for. On f3. Bishop d1. On d4. King a5. On f2. Bishop e2. On d3. Bishop h5. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 and gain a significant edge. Bishop g4 move preferred by white. White's idea is to play king a5. On f3. On b6. King c6. King a6. King c5. On b7. King d4. Pawn promotes to queen at b8 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On d4 move preferred by black. King b3. On f3. King c2. On f2. Black is aiming to play pawn promotes to queen at f1 and establish a winning position. Bishop h3 was chosen by white. King takes b5. Bishop f1 check. King c5. King b3. King d5. Black is preparing to play. On d3. King c3. King e5. Bishop h3. King f4. Bishop g2. King g3. Bishop takes e4. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 and gain a significant edge. King b2 move preferred by white. King e5. King c2. King f4. King b3. On d3. Black is aiming to play King g3. King b2. King h2. King c3. King g1. Bishop h3. Pawn promotes to queen at f1. Bishop takes f1. King takes f1 and secure a stronghold in the game. King b2 move preferred by white. King g3. King c3. King h2. King d2. King g1. Black is aiming to play king takes f1 and gain a significant edge. Bishop h3 move preferred by white. Pawn promotes to queen at f1. Black is preparing to play queen takes h3 and gain a significant edge. Bishop d7. Black has a decisive advantage. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Bishop c3. Pause the video and try to predict black's next move. King e3. Black considers playing King e2. Bishop d2. On f3 check. King g3. On f2. Bishop f4. Pawn promotes to queen at f1 and increase their advantage significantly. King f1 played by white. White intends to play on d5. On g3. On d6. On f3. Bishop d4 check. King takes d4. On d7. King c3. Pawn promotes to queen at d8 and gain a significant edge. On G3 played by black. Black is preparing to play. On F3. Bishop A5. On G2 check. King G1. King E2. Bishop D8. On F2 check. King takes G2. On promotes to queen at F1 check, and take decisive advantage. Bishop E1 played by white. On G2 check. King takes G2. King E2. Black is looking to play. On F3 check. King G3. King takes E1, and secure a stronghold in the game. On D5 was chosen by white. King takes E1. On D6. King E2. On D7. On F3 check. King G3. On F2. On promotes to queen at D8. White is aiming to play. Queen E7 check. King D3. King takes F2, and take decisive advantage. On promotes to queen at F1 played by black. Queen E7 check. King D1. Black might go for. Queen E1 check. Queen takes E1 check. King takes E1. On A4. On C3. King F4. On C2. King F5. On promotes to queen at C1, and increase their advantage significantly. On A4 played by white. Queen D3 check. King H4. On C3. Queen G5. Queen D4 check. King H5. On C2. Queen G2. Queen H8 check. King G4. Queen G7 check. King H3. Queen takes G2 check. King takes G2. On promotes to queen at C1. Black is aiming to play. Queen C2 check. King F3. Queen takes A4 and seize the initiative. King F3. Black is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game. White played. On B4 pause the video to analyze black's next move. On F4. Black wants to play. On E4. Bishop E2. On F3. Bishop A6. On E3. King F7. On E2. King E6. On promotes to queen at E1 check, and put immense pressure on the opponent. King F7 was chosen by white. White is preparing to play. King E6. On E4. King E5. On F3. King takes E4, and gain a significant edge. King F5 was chosen by black. King E7. White is aiming to play. Bishop C2 check. King G4. King D6. King F3. King takes E5, and gain a significant edge. On E4 move preferred by black. King D6. White's idea is to play. Bishop C2. On F3. King D5. King G5. Bishop takes E4, and seize the initiative. On F3 played by black. King D5. White is setting up to play. Bishop C2. On F2. Bishop takes E4 check, and take decisive advantage. King F4 played by black. King D4. On B5. On A4. On F2. Black wants to play. Pawn promotes to queen at F1, and seize the initiative. Bishop E2 played by white. White is planning to play. Bishop takes B5, and gain a significant edge. On takes A4 played by black. Bishop C4. On A3. Black's idea is to play. On A2. Bishop takes A2. On promotes to queen at F1, and increase their advantage significantly. King c3 move preferred by white. On a2. Black is planning to play, pawn promotes to queen at a 1 check, and gain a significant edge. King b2 was chosen by white. King f3. King takes a 2. On e3. Bishop d5 check. King g3. Black considers playing, pawn promotes to queen at f1, and gain a significant edge. Bishop c4 played by white. King g2. King b3. Pawn promotes to queen at f1. Bishop takes f1 check. King takes f1. On b5. On e2. King c4. Pawn promotes to queen at e1. Black is setting up to play. Queen e4 check. King c5. King e1. King d6. Queen d4 check. King e6. Queen c4 check. King f5. Queen takes b5 check, and seizes the initiative. King d5 white is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game.